start by letting you know the kind of workers you have in the worker okay, let's use Bonus Place for instance. I have 4 set of workers in Bonus Place. The ideal staff, let me start with that one. The ideal staff is a staff who has what are called owner's mentality. And ideal staff is one who has owner's mentality. That's somebody who comes to the business, who comes to my business environment, not just for the salary and the commission, or the benefits that he or she will get, but somebody who comes, who first of all try to understand the purpose of the business and tries to key into the purpose of the business. You understand? Because every business owner is always looking for an extension, somebody that will run with a vision. It's just like a family, for instance. If you're in a family, you know, okay, there was a time that I was a child, then today I'm a father. So my father is getting old, and I'm like the extension of my father today. Today I also have children who I'm raising, who are going to be an extension. So, as you keep having, keep transferring the baton from one, person to another, there will be an extension of family. Even when my father is gone, I'm gone, the business will continue to exist. So that's an extension. So for this thing to be possible, there has to be, in a business setting, owner's mentality, ownership mentality. Every staff, you must have staff that have owner's mentality, that understand the purpose of the business and that is willing, and making sacrifices, are committed, to extending, the business from one generation to another. Do you understand? Those are people that have owners. These are people, they don't just come to the business, to collect salary, to collect commission. But the way God, this is the original plan, there has to be, an idea has to move from one generation to another generation. There has to be an extension. You have big brands today that are doing very well. You will find out that the owners, they are long gone, but the business is still thriving because they've been able to inculcate in some of the staff owner's mentality. So in a business environment, the owner should be able to identify those who has owners or ownership mentality, people who will key into the purpose of the business, and they will make sacrifices and they will be committed, and doing it willingly, just for the extension of the business from one generation to another. You understand? Those are set. That is the idea. People who have this ownership mentality, they are the ones that understudy the owner. They understudy the owner. They are not just there, like I said, for the money, for the business, but for them to understudy the business, so that they understudy the owner, so that they can get to know, the purpose and key in. Because someday they are going to be owners too. Just like, there was a time I was a child, but today I'm a father. Now I'm raising children who tomorrow will become fathers too. You understand? Just so that whatever business idea, whatever ideas we have, can move from one generation to another. This is what I call the modeling principle. This is the original plan of God. You understand? So for an ideal home, an ideal business, there has to be, that mindset, you know, of doing a business that add value to people and at the same time give glory to God. So everybody must have that mindset. I mean, the staff must have that mindset. Once they have the mindset, you know, they will have the interest of the business at the heart. They will not just be there for the money that they want to make. They will not just be there because of the commission that they want to get. They will not just be there just because of the benefit they want to get. They will be there because, one, they want to extend the business from one generation to another. You understand? That's what I got. People who have ownership mentality, and people who uses what I call the modeling principle, and that is the original plan of God. But what do I see today? You know, instead of the modeling principle, you know, there is an aberration. You have a lot of people, they do what I call try and error. Try and error. Try and error is good, but it's slow. It does not give you fast result like the original modeling principle. When I was going to learn the business I'm doing now, you know, I didn't just go and start studying on my own, doing try and error, working on people's head and making mistakes and learn from it. No. What I did was to sort out somebody who was very good in the business, somebody who had made a name and who was successful. I went to understudy the person. In essence, if you want to do a business, you know, you have to look for somebody, depending on the kind of business you want to do, look for somebody who is successful in it. Then you go and understudy the business and understudy the person. That's called the modeling principle. It's the fastest way of, you know, of doing business than doing the try and error, you know, doing the try and error method. Do you understand? What the devil is pushing is for people, you know, to do the try and error. Sometimes you make an error, it can be expensive, it can be grievous. You know, there are some errors that you will make, you know, that you cannot reverse. But if you are under somebody who is successful or who has succeeded in what you want to do, it becomes very easy for you, you know, to get to know the weaknesses, you know, the strengths, you know, you get to know the how to go about the business. You know, life becomes very easy for you. You understand? So what the devil is trying to do, or what the enemy is trying to do, is to encourage people, you know, either through schools or through, you know, telling people to go out and hustle, you know, to go and do the try and error, you know, to be adventurous, you know, and all that. I'm not saying these things are not good, but I'm telling you, it's not the fastest way of achieving your desired result. The fastest way of achieving your result is through the modeling principle. I'll be giving you examples in the course of talking, but let me just lay a very solid foundation. You understand? See, what the devil does, what the enemy does, you go to a working environment, instead of trying to understudy the owner of the business, instead of you trying to get to, you know, understand the purpose so that you can key in, what people do is they focus on the salary, they focus on the commission, they focus on what they want to get. You understand? So they focus on what is in it for them, instead of focusing on understanding. Because if you are in a working environment, you know, and you don't have the mindset of the owner, you don't key into the purpose, there is no way, you know, you will get extra in addition to the salary or the commission you are getting. And just notice that before they even take you in a place, or like in bonus place for instance, you must know the basic. You have to be good at the job, or we'll train you to be good in the job. You know, it's not about being good, it's not about, you know, not being good in business we're talking about now. You must know the trade, you must have to be good in it. So that one is guaranteed. You understand? But if you want to succeed, if you want to advance in this, all you need to do is to key into the purpose of the business, is to have that mindset, ownership mindset. You know, you should have, you know, you have it that one day you're going to be an owner. You are going to be an extension of the brand. But if you're not seeing yourself as one who is going to extend the brand, or the owner is not seeing you, there is no way you get more than your salary and your commission. So a lot of people, you know, in the business environment, they don't have that ownership mentality. So it's not really their fault, you know. I'll say it's not their fault. It's the enemy's fault. It's the enemy's devices. It's just the part of the enemy, you know, just to, you know, to cause confusion, to cause, you know, chaos, you know, to distract or to kill and destroy the business. So every business owner is looking for staff who have this ownership mentality. So what do you see, you know, in the business? Instead of people having the ownership mentality, what do you see? You have another set of worker in the working environment. They are angry staff. You know, they are angry. You know, they have this anger. You know, they are angry. They see the owner doing very well. They begin to compare themselves with the owners. You know, you see the owner is driving a big car. Next, you are angry. You know, you begin to see, oh, he's using you to make money. He's using people to make money. You know, you begin to look at the achievement of the owner. You know, you begin to compare yourself, you know, with the owner and all that. So with time, you see yourself, you know, trying to convince other people, you know, to see, you know, this negative or whatever. You know, you try to gang up, you know, just to abuse people's mind, just to let them know that the owner is using you or using other people to make money. You're always angry, getting angry. You know, most of this anger comes from where you're coming from. You know, it's not just because of the working environment, you know, because there are a lot of people, they are not from an ideal home. So they've not been taught how to do business. They've not been taught how to, you know, live life. They've not been taught how to, you know, relate with people. So when they come to a business setup where they can learn, you know, how to have an ideal, you know, living, how to have that mindset of have to have ownership mentality, so that they will know that they themselves can be an owner some days, and they can be an extension of a brand or extension of a family, you know. But you see themselves, you know, fighting against, you know, the structure, the system, you know, and the governance in that environment. You get what I'm saying? They are always angry. You know, angry staff, you know, for sometimes I accommodate staff that are angry because I want to educate them. But these angry staff, they are very dangerous. If they are not willing to change, get rid of them before they start ganging up. Get rid of them. So there are staff, you know, in an organization, they are angry. You know, they are angry at the environment, they are angry at where they are coming from. So they carry it to their workplace. You know, but they are good at their job. They are very good at what they do. But they are always angry. When they see any progress, they are angry. That's another set of staff. They don't have ownership mentality. They are just there for the money, for the commission, for the salary, and for what they can get. You know, and also to steer other people. And these people, they are very dangerous. Then there's another set of workers. This set of people, they are what I call them, they are cheaters. You know, they cheat. You know, they're always looking for a way. You know, maybe you ask them to go and buy this, they want to add money to it, they want to make extra change. You know, they want to make money. The customer comes, they tell the customer, what this thing is expensive, you know, I can go and buy it for you. Or they will say, you know, don't worry, I'll come and do home service for you. Do you understand? These are cheaters. They cheat. But the owner knows. The reason why a wise owner, for instance, somebody who is interested in transforming lives, in building life, the reason why he keeps quiet is because he's giving them an opportunity to change. But he knows that these are not his real staff. You know, because the real staff are those people with ownership mentality. Do you understand? But because they are good at the job and he needs them, because the truth is that you need those staff with you. You understand? You know, but if you're somebody who has the mindset of changing people, you can accommodate them and hope that someday they will change. But you know, funny, because the owner accommodates them, they start thinking that he's a fool, he doesn't know what he's doing. So there are staff that are cheaters, you know, they cheat. Then there's another set of people in an environment, in the business environment. They are what I call confused staff. You know, they are not angry, they don't cheat, but it's like they're just confused. They are confused. They do their job, you know, but they're just confused. They don't know whether to resign. They don't know whether to, you know, but they're just confused. They're just there. They just need a direction. They need a mate or somebody that will guide and direct them. But you see, these people, they are there. You know, they are the people that say, okay, when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. You know, when we get there, we'll find out, you know, how we overcome it. You know, they are also there for the money they want to get, but they don't have that ownership mentality. They are like babies. You know, they can't take decision on their own, so you have to decide for them. These are the enemy's plots. Confuse people, make them cheat, make them to be angry, so that they will not have the ownership mentality, so that the business cannot be extended. You know, it cannot move from one generation to another. He doesn't want them to have this model. He doesn't want them to understudy, you know, the owner, so that they will know how to own a business, how to run a business, how to manage a business. Do you understand? So he would rather make them to be rebellious, and he will tell them to do the trial and error. You know how it is, trial and error. You know, you do, sometimes you get it right, at other times you don't get it right. You know, the few wins will encourage you to continue, and you'll be thinking that you are doing what is right. But ideally, the best way and the fastest way is to have, you know, the modeling principle, to understudy, you know, somebody who is doing very well. Before I started this, but like I said earlier, I understudied people, somebody who was very good in the business. So I got to know the key success factor. I did not stop that. When I also knew that I needed to, you know how to package and sell myself, I went to a company, I went to a school, you know, to know how to do. And when I got there, I did not just go to the school, I also went to understudy the person who was behind the school. Are you following what I'm saying? That is, you know, modeling principle. And the same thing when I was going to raise funds for my business, you know, going to the bank was, you know, not, you know, getting money, fresh cash to start was not that easy. What did I do? I started asking, looking at people who are succeeding. How did they go about it? Do you understand? So it's always very easy for you, you know, to understudy people who are successful in what you want to do. You know, when you understudy them, you will get to know the key success factor in the business. Do you understand? But the devil does not want you to study. He tells you it's a waste of time. He wants you to do the trial and error. If you even find out, you know, what they teach in school, you know, it's just the trial and error method. When they say, okay, go and hustle, they still talk about the trial and error method. Are you following what I'm saying? But I did think, you know, it's for you to, you know, learn how to understudy people who are successful in what you want to do. You see, we are not unaware of the devices of the enemy. The devices of the enemy is to get people to be angry, is to make people to be cheaters, and at the same time, you want to confuse people. And it tells them that is the best way. If you look at the economy, if you look at the situation around, you will see angry people. You will see people who are looking for a way to do, and all that. People are looking for, the way to cheat, because they feel that is the fastest way. Then you have a lot of people that are confused. It's not only in business, it's also in life and also in relationship. But the truth is that whatever you want to do, if you want to succeed, look at people, look for somebody who is succeeding in business and understanding the person, and key into the purpose of what that person is doing. And through that, you will, find or carve out your own uniqueness, carve out your own business, just like I did. You understand? So the devil's devices that the Bible says we are not aware of is to make people not to have the ownership mentality. Somebody who does not have an ownership mentality in the business will not come to work. He will not understand the reason why he should come to work early. He will not understand what it means to be orderly. He will not understand what cleanliness is. Are you following what I'm saying? He will not understand. When you are even trying to teach or to tell the person what they're supposed to do, they resist you. And if you go to find out, is the result of where they are coming from. Now, as a business owner, I have decided to be, an ideal, family, try to build a business where I can be a role model, so that people that are coming into the business, the thing that they did not learn at home, they will learn it in bonus place. Now I'm teaching people how to do business. Ideally, if you are from an ideal home, these are something you're supposed to learn from your parent. How to do business, how to live life, and how to relate with people, so that when you come to a society, it becomes very easy. But the truth is that a lot of people out there, they are not from ideal home. So every business owner, if you want to succeed in business, you have to be a role model, where you have to model, as a family, so that your workers can get to pick one or two things from you as to how to live life, how to do business, and how to relate with people. I hope you have learned something today. You see, I am not unaware of the devices of the enemy. So I will not say because there are some angry, confused, and cheaters, you will do away with them. But the truth is that, like the Bible says, in a big house, there are vessels of honor and there are vessels of dishonor. But if the vessels of dishonor, are willing, to change, they can also become vessels of honor for the master's use. Do you understand? So, bonus place, for instance, we are transforming lives. We are transforming people who are angry, transforming people who are cheaters, transforming people who are confused, so that they can have that ownership mentality, because someday they are going to be an owner of a business. Not just be an owner of a business, they also learn how to pass the baton from one generation to another.